I'm just going to firstly introduce you to Close the Loop. Close the Loop was founded in 2001 and with a zero waste to landfill brand promise. We get independently audited on that promise each year, so we have to monitor not just ourselves but all our downstream and where things go. So it's quite interesting, all this. You sort of sit up there and I'm looking at weird stuff. So our business is based in Melbourne in Australia. We also have a business in the US in Kentucky and a business in Europe just outside Antwerp. So we do similar things all around the world, but whilst it looks the same on the outside, when you lift the blankets, it's a little bit different in each geography due to market dynamics and a whole range of things. So that's who we are. So what I wanted to talk to you about is what we're probably best known for. Well, actually, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to do something else, but how are we going?
Sorry. Which one?
So we're probably best known for the Cartridges for Planet Ark program. Paul Klemenko down here from Planet Ark. So it's a wonderful partnership. One of the things that Barry talked about in his address was about doing things together, about the importance of partnerships, and you'll get a really strong sense of how important it really is to achieve circular economy outcomes. So Planet Ark is a really strong partner, one that we value really highly, and it's been a great partnership over many, many years. So the same with Ian Davies from Hume City Council. We're engaged heavily with Hume City Council. They've been a huge support to Close the Loop as a business. They're a very strong business-focused council and been enormous support to us in the journey. This is getting way harder than... Barry, you had a good run. Yeah. It's a good idea. Are we okay? Don't you just love it when technology fails you? No. That's it. There we go. All right, we're on. So that's who we are. Planet Ark, Cartridges of Planet Ark. We employ over 200 people now. So what we're best known for probably is the recycling of cartridges. We don't view ourselves interesting enough as a recycler. So we do a whole bunch of things, and we're also a manufacturer, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So we take the recycling of cartridges as an input into manufacturing components. So from the cartridges we extract that stuff called toner. And anyone know what toner is, by the way? Not you, Paul. No one? Well, it's actually a really high-grade polymer, plastic. It's not carbon black, despite what many people think. So it's a really high-grade engineering quality plastic. So it's really valuable and a really great stuff to use. So I'll duck through these fairly quickly. So as we all know, we've got a major issue. It's not just local, it's all around the world. And, soft plastic in particular is really difficult to deal with. So soft plastic is one thing that, so the Red Cycle program, there we go, Red Cycle, and we also partner with Plastic Police. So the Red Cycle program, Plastic Police deliver soft plastics to us. we include the soft plastics with the waste toner, and we make a product out of that. So there's nothing happens easily. You know, there's a lot of R&D goes into this. It's all been conducted in our business in the City of Hume, so we've had a lot of support, as I said earlier, from City of Hume. The important thing about this is we're really focused on, and Carl touched on it before, about the importance of using these recovered resources, but making a better product, not just making somewhere to put this stuff. It's actually should be a better product. So we've been very focused on making a better product. We've made a lot of investment as part of that process in a manufacturing line and a whole bunch of things. That's all still going. That's a little tiny bit of the line. Couldn't get it all in. It goes for quite a long way. And as part of the process, so there's a whole lot of science has gone into this. So we had, this is our second generation product. Our first generation was using that plastic, wonderful toner plastic, and putting that into an asphalt additive. So now, and we've laid over 1,000 kilometres of roads since 2013. So this is not new technology. It's now proven technology. We've just taken it to a whole new level, adding the soft plastic component to it. So there's a lot of science. What it looks like is that's little pellets that get ingested into the asphalt mix. And again, we reflect on partnerships. So, you know, we have a long-term wonderful partnership with Downer. Downer have been enormous support. Our R&D and their R&D work really closely together to bring this to market. It's all very well having a great product, but if you can't get anybody to put it into a road, it's a real problem. So Downer's been an enormous support. So they've developed high recycled asphalt plants, and those plants have driven asphalt technology around the world, in fact, not just here in Australia. Applying recycled technology or recycled products into the roads. So partnership again, Hume. They've been a real innovator, early adopter. So our first version of this, called Toner Pave, we laid that back in 2013, I think, Ian, and it was the first road in Australia. Hume were there supporting it. Our first Toner Plas road, or the plastic version, if you like. Guess who was first up to the plate? It was again Hume City Council, and they laid the first road in Australia with the new version, which Downer calls Reconifelt. So other councils, they took a real leadership role in that, and other councils quickly followed, and we've done a whole bunch on. Added some other councils there. So we've laid roads in every state in Australia now, and it's been a real success story. So what goes into it? Every kilometre there's 530,000 plastic bag equivalents. There's 12,500 or toner from the equivalent of 12,500 cartridges. More importantly, the road is it builds a 65% improvement in the fatigue life of the road. So it's a great outcome. That means it lasts longer. That means it needs less maintenance. That means you don't have to resurface as quickly. So the total cost of ownership of these roads is significantly less than standard asphalt. So the polymers act to enhance the asphalt characteristics. And how am I going for time? Oh, I'm pretty good. You're going to fit this in, Ian. So 65. Superior deformation. It's a really great outcome. And before anybody asks me about microplastics leaching into the environment, I'll just head that one off. We've had it tested to death. The New South Wales EPA in particular have taken a real liking to testing it, and so and they've really had just gone into enormous depths. So this is probably the most tested asphalt on the planet, and they can't get any microplastics out of it. If you imagine putting a teaspoon of sugar in a cup of tea and stirring it in, that's what happens. It becomes intrinsically part of the matrix of the whole thing, and it just can't come out. So once you've got it in there, you can't get it out. Okay, so everyone's a winner. So the community is a winner. And it's building better roads, longer lasting, less maintenance. And as we all know, roads are the lifeblood of community and business. It connects communities, it enables business to be done, things to be transported around and so on. So really important. So if we can take some cost out of it, reuse some waste materials on the way through, what a great idea. So in Rayfield Avenue in Craigieburn, which was where the first road was laid last year, actually almost to the year, exactly a year. So that was what went into it. It was actually equivalent to 3 years of recycling for the entire street, which was really interesting. Some interesting stuff. And as a result of this, we're the current Business of the Year in Hume, which was a nice feather in our cap and one we're really proud of. Oops, my alarm. Is that going off? Right, Ian? Yeah. So just before Ian comes up, we'll just run a quick video. How do I play that? Do I play that? Where's my technical man?
Resolute provides solutions for our customers. Our customers generally make products. We help them design those products for the end of life, collect the products, and then recover the valuable resources to be reused again in new products.
For example, for customers like Lexmark, Close the Loop helped them find a unique new use for its old paint and toner cartridges as a key ingredient in making toner-paved asphalt.
In fact, Lexmark's entire parking lot here in Lexington, Kentucky has been paved with old recycled imaging material. Toner cartridges like these, which would otherwise have gone straight to a landfill.
Originally, toner, you would landfill toner, then waste to energy. Now with the toner paved solution, you're moving up the sustainability hierarchy. You're going to a much more positive solution to lowering the footprint and actually creating a product that's going to last a long time.
Close the Loop has also partnered with the Downer Group in Australia to use recycled toner cartridges, plastic and glass to produce a new asphalt product called Toner Glass. In fact, this has resulted in the first highway in the world actually built from recycled trash near Melbourne, Australia.
So for every kilometre of road laid, there's 530,000 plastic bags, there's 168,000 glass bottles, and there's toner from 12,500 print cartridges. Close the Loop has created such an innovative new product like Toner Glass that's taking problematic waste streams and turning them into a value-added product to be able to use in road construction.
The performance of the road is enhanced by up to 65%. So it's a win-win. It's a win for our partners and it's a win for the environment.
We help our customers and our partners really find value in their return programs and their sustainability programs. We take pride in helping them and finding value in these recovered items. So we do like to say that we are paving the way for the future of sustainability.
A world in the future made from yesterday's trash, thanks to a global steward. That's helping the world find treasure in what used to be unwanted trash.
Over to you, Ian.
Good afternoon. A transformational product, I think. Peter becomes Ian, Private sector becomes local government. Fantastic.
Closed the loop provides
Oh, here we go.
solutions
Okay, you've heard a lot of the background, and we are running out of time, so I'm going to shoot through these pretty quickly. But Hume has been proud to support these ventures, these new initiatives in the recycling and circular economy, and we have a lot of examples within our municipality, of which Close the Loop is one, along with Downer, one of the standouts. The forward plans, as they say there, about 20,000 tonnes a year are projected, and it's slightly more expensive as a product, but only marginally, and certainly our engineers are very happy with the results that they've seen to date. For the engineers in the group, that's a Downer slide. I'm not going to pretend to talk to that, but it'll be available on the presentations, and there are some Downer people here if there are people from the council engineers departments want to know more about the product. We've heard and we've talked about the importance of collaboration, and it really is. And again, I think we've covered all of these, the partners, but including Sustainability Victoria, who have been a great supporter of this particular technology, as they are with many other in this recycling and repurposing space. Just a very quick snapshot of Hume. We're a large council. We're in the north of Melbourne. We take in the airport over to the southwest of our area, the municipality. Around about 250,000 people. We're in a growth corridor. Within the next 10 years, we'll be adding about another 100,000 more people, so we'll be about 350,000. That growth is happening in the north and in greenfield areas, areas such as Merrifield. The locations of the various organisations that have been involved in this technology, and you can see the locations of where the asphalt's been done. As well as being a large area and a large population, we still have a really large manufacturing base. I'm not quite sure where we stand in the Victorian metrics, but we're certainly up there as maybe the first or second, I don't know. Something like 15,000 businesses. Obviously, we had the Ford factory at Broadmeadows, which closed down a few years back. But I'm really observing an interesting trend, which is the expansion and the growth of the area. New businesses are coming in. We now have IKEA. There's a whole range of new Dulux. There's a whole range of new companies coming in, but also an amazing number of companies involved in the recycling and the repurposing area, and I find that really exciting. And I think that reflects the fact that you have that manufacturing base, that manufacturing experience, and those companies are reinventing themselves for the challenges that lie ahead of us. This is the final slide. You saw on the video a picture of Steve Morris. Some of you, or quite a number of you, I'm sure, will know him. That's Steve in the back, a young Steve, about 12 years ago. In the video, that was much more recent. Geez, he's aged. But as many of you will know, he is an absolute. He epitomizes everything to do with the circular economy. He is a guru to many of us. And I don't know whether he was the first to coin circular economy, but he's certainly up there, and he lives and breathes it every day. He is still involved with Close the Loop as a director, but he also founded Circular Food a couple of years back, and he more recently has started to work with Planet Arc, a fantastic fellow. So the whole toner pave things and the cartridges, etc., was Steve's inspiration. As he says, it was a aha moment when 2 o'clock in the morning he woke up and went for a water. And but he came with the idea that, if this is to work, it's going to be collaboration, it's going to be through partnerships, it's not going to be through competition. And the road has been long. There was 10 years or so. You can see at the top there that the city of Hume was grabbed the opportunity to recycle the cartridges and recycled something like 170 tonnes over that 10-year period. And around about 2012, the first toner pave asphalt was laid in the actually in Epping, which is just over the border in Whittlesea, but we're totally agnostic when it comes to council borders. And in 2014, as Peter mentioned, we laid our first toner pave in Hume, and then just 12 months ago we did the Reconnerfeld. But just as we're agnostic in terms of council boundaries, we're also agnostic when it comes to companies. The Downer product, closed-the-loop product, is a fantastic product, but there are many other products that we're looking to utilise within our municipality. And indeed, there's another asphalt product produced by another company within our municipality, and they're using electric arc furnace slag to produce a high-quality asphalt. Quite a different application to the Reconnerfeld. That particular company would describe it as being for safety use, so intersections, adverse cambers, roundabouts, and things like that. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in our municipality, and I certainly am very proud to work there and be the custodian of what we call the Business Efficiency Network. Thank you very much.